शुभं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Moving further, today we are having Mr. Kamlesh P. Yagnik, Chief Resilience Officer, CRO, Surat Municipal Corporation, as a chief guest. And today, Dr. Vikas Singh, the Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Raipur, is being with us as a guest of honor. So let us welcome first. Let us welcome Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik, sir, the virtual flower bouquet. Now let us welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Vikas Singh, with virtual flower bouquet. Now, thank you, Kamlesh sir, and thank you, Vikas sir, for being with us. Now, without the continuous support and motivation, it would not become possible to arrange such kind of event. I'm very delighted to invite our beloved principal sir, Dr. V.D. Dhiman sir, to address the audience on this event.
Hello, Parth, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, all. It gives me an immense pleasure to share that the Institute is hosting a Guj Coast sponsored first international virtual conference on emerging research and innovations in civil engineering today. It is a matter of honor and pride to welcome chief guest of today's inaugural ceremony, Shri Kamlesh Yagnik. Sir has a wide expertise and experience in research, business, consultancies in area of climate change and technology. He is presently actively involved with Surat Municipal Commission as Chief Resilience Officer. His contribution in small and medium enterprise working on flood-prone areas of South Gujarat is noteworthy. Sir, on behalf of Institute, I welcome you once again, sir. It's also a matter of honor and pride to welcome Guest of Honor, Professor Dr. Vikas Singh, Vice Chancellor, ITM University, Raipur, in today's inaugural ceremony. Dr. Vikas Singh has a vast experience in establishment and development of multidiscipline universities. He is recognized in India's top 50 higher education experts. Dr. Singh is president of IIC and a recipient of several awards. So, on behalf of Institute, I welcome you once again, sir. The conference intends to bring together scientists, engineers, and practitioners to discuss the developments of technological advances in civil engineering. Appropriate themes on water management, transportation, urban planning, structural engineering, and many more, and its publication in conference proceedings will provide platform to all participants by sharing their experience and provide appropriate solution. I am very much thankful to our director Shri GT Pandya IAS for motivating us to organize such events at regular intervals of time as per the present pandemic condition. I am also very much grateful to Guj Coast for providing us financial grant to support this virtual international conference. I will also express my gratitude to international and national advisory committee members, keynote speakers, reviewers, session chairpersons for sparing their valuable time uh, in making this international conference a grand success. I congratulate event coordinators Professor Harish Kolakia, Professor Darshan Mehta, Head of Civil Engineering Department, Professor S.I. Vaikom, all the faculty members of Civil and Applied Mechanics departments, and the PG students of Civil Engineering Department for their continuous efforts to shape this virtual international conference a grand success. I once again thank Shri Kamlesh Yagnik sir, Dr. Vikas Singh for sparing their valuable time to grace this function. I wish all the participants a memorable learning session today. Best wishes on behalf of all the faculty members and students of this institute. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and keep motivating us as you are always doing. Now, for our support system, our mentor, head of civil engineering department, Dr. Saita Vaikum ma'am. I'm requesting her to address the audience on this event.
Okay, good morning, Professor Part. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning to everyone present over here again. On behalf of Civil Engineering Department, Dr. SNSS Gandhi, Government Engineering College, I once again welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Guests of Honor, respected Principal Sir, and all the other participants to the first virtual international conference on emerging research and innovation in civil engineering. I congratulate the organizing team for their initiative, dedications, and hard work in handling every bit of preparations in making this virtual conference a reality. We are also fortunate to get around the clock guidance, support, and motivations from our respected principal, sir, in making this event a success. I thank all the faculty, students of the undergraduate and postgraduate program of Civil Engineering Department for their continuous enthusiastic involvement in various work for this conference. I extend my thanks to all the speakers and participants from the different corners of the globe who have joined today to share their research knowledge on various streams of civil engineering. I hope you all a memorable learning experience in this conference and wish you and your family good health. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Now it's a time for the backbone of the organizing committee, uh, Professor DJ Mehta, who is behind all this arrangement and all this uh, program lookout. So I'm requesting Professor DJ Mehta to give address speech on this event.
Thank you, Professor Pat Tandel. So, a very good morning, everyone. Namaste. Our today's chief guest, Sri Kamlesh Yagnik ji, guest of honor, Dr. Vikas Singh sir, Principal Professor V.D. Dhiman sir, Head of the Civil Engineering Department, Professor Sahita Vaikom ma'am, Head of other departments of our institute, faculty members, and dear participants. On behalf of organizing committee of ERISE 2K21, I am very much delighted to announce the first virtual international conference on emerging research and innovations in civil engineering, which is organized by Civil Engineering Department of Dr. SNSS Gandhi, Government Engineering College, Surat. The main aim and the purpose of this conference is to offer a platform for the dissemination of original research results, new ideas, practical development, and discovered advances in the field of civil engineering and related interdisciplinary topics. As we all know, with the rapid growth in India and worldwide, there is a tremendous investment being made in infrastructure field. The investment in infrastructure brings along its own unique set of challenges. Civil engineers are at the forefront of facing and tackling these challenges and developing innovative and cost-effective solutions. It is necessary to bring the latest challenges and conceptual solution face to face to realize the feasibility of successful outcome. Active researchers and practicing civil engineers in local bodies like municipal corporations, and state and central authorities like irrigation department, water supply, town planning, road and building, urban development authority, and construction companies desire to exchange new ideas, share knowledges, explore trends and technological innovation in the field of civil engineering for harmonized and sustainable growth for present and future needs. This conference like this bring together the national and international communities of research and practitioners and provide a platform to discuss the new challenges, emerging ideas, and adaptive strategies in the area of civil engineering. We made our best efforts to bring some of the best topic by active researchers which are selected through critical and blind review process. The conference received overwhelming response as we received more than 86 research papers across the globe, out of which 62 registered quality papers are going to present during the 6 parallel sessions. I am very much glad to inform all the participants, chief guests, guest of honors, head of the department that we receive papers from abroad, namely West Indies, Canada, Iran, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. We also have received papers from reputed institute, namely Osmania University, Hyderabad, NICMAR, Pune, Noida University, NIT Calicut, NIT Tiruchirappalli, MNIT Jaipur, NMIT Bangalore, MSU Baroda, SVNIT Surat, Nirma University, LD College of Engineering Ahmedabad, SVIT Vasad, BVM Vallabh Vidyanagar, SASIT Surat, SCAT Surat. In today's conference, we have two international keynote speakers. One, Dr. Hazi Azamutullah from Trinidad and Tobago, University of West Indies. And second, Dr. Isabella Beatriz from University of Salamanca, Spain. And one national keynote speaker, Dr. Gaurang J. Joshi sir from SVNIT Surat. And they are going to share their knowledge and experience with us as the conference progresses. The conference will be providing all the participants an opportunity to learn the latest through keynotes and plenary talk by eminent academicians and field engineers. The conference comes to a reality due to untiring efforts. As we all know that due to this pandemic situation, we won't be able to meet in a physical manner. So with the help of this online platform, we all can meet together from various across the globe. The presentation of the research paper has been classified in 4 major themes, including water resource engineering, structural engineering, transportation and urban planning, and environmental engineering. To acknowledge the best efforts of the authors put in by presenter in the conference, we will be announcing the best paper awards in each session, which includes a cash prize and a certificate to the presenter of that paper. All the session of this virtual conference will be conducted through Microsoft Team platform. So we are also thankful to the Microsoft Team platform. So all the participants can present their topics through this platform. The interaction via virtual platform will provide understanding of technological research and related innovation among the participants. Allow me to extend my gratitude towards Directorate of Technical Education and Gujarat Council, Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, Gujcoast, for their generosity and support during such crucial time to make this event happen. All the accepted papers are published in conference proceedings with ISBN number. Additionally, the selected accepted paper will get published as a book chapter, New Trends in Civil Engineering, in Taylor and Francis Scopus Index book chapter. Organizing team wishes all the participants and guests an enriching experience throughout the event. Now, on behalf of guest Sri Kamlesh Yagnik sir and Dr. Vikas Singh sir, we will launch the conference souvenir via virtual platform. I request everyone to join with us. So let's launch the ERISE to 2021 conference souvenir. So thank you so much, all the participants, for your active participation. Thank you, Kamlesh Yagnik sir and Vikas Singh sir, for your kind presence. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Professor Darsan, for giving the brief about the event and inaugurating or launching this souvenir. Now, moving further, today we are very fortunate that Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik sir is available with us as chief guest of today's inaugural function. So let me introduce him first. Uh, Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik sir is having masters, has done his masters from IIT Mumbai in 1984. He was a director of many institutions like Micro Information Private Limited, Asirvad Research and Medicare Private Limited, Resilience Strata Action and Research Forum Surat, India. He is having the experience in a field of management and technology around 36 years. He is having the experience in climate change, energy, and resilience about 12 years. And Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik, sir, has over 3 decades of experience in research, business, and consulting in the area of energy, climate change, and technology. Currently, he is working as India's first chief resilience officer appointed by Surat Municipal Corporation. He is a founder trustee of Surat Climate Change Trust, the first of its kind in India. He represents small and medium enterprises working in flood-prone area of South Gujarat, India, as immediate past president of the South Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. An engineer by training, he has studied vulnerabilities, impact, and adaptation strategies for climate change in Surat. In collaboration with the local government, he has worked on an end-to-end early warning system for river flood. He has also initiated various e-governance projects for administration. His area of interest includes urban resilience, traffic, and energy management. So we are very fortunate that the person which is having the massive experience is being with us as a chief guest of today's inaugural function. So without wasting much time, I'm requesting him to address the audience on this event and grace the audience, grace the event.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me. I have a couple of slides to show. So can I share it, from my machine?
Hi, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can.
Great, great. Okay. So my, compliments to management of Gandhi Engineering College for having me invited in this very first virtual conference on civil engineering, actually the research and innovation in civil. While you're going to deliberate issues on water resources, environment, irrigation management, durability, earthquake engineering, structural engineering, basing, many more. There are a couple of things I want to share it very very brief. First and foremost is this is a time where we should be staying inside and we should be logged in. And at this particular point, we are status of engineering in general. I wanted to share it with you initially because I think it is very very befitting, while we are talking about higher engineering research and different courses in innovation. What is the status with regard to skill? What is going to be the future, and especially with regard to engineering, what is going to be happening? That I wanted to share it. At this point, most of our colleges in our country have 19th century curriculum, 20th century building and organization, and we are having students studying in our colleges who are going to face challenges of 21st century. This is essentially a scenario, and this scenario, we look back and if we see that World Economic Forum, which is a gathering of the best intellectual and people across the world, they meet almost every January in Switzerland, and they deliberate on the issues. Now in 2017, they were saying, okay, what are going to be the challenges in front of us? What are going to be the challenges in front of humanity in short time to come? So the issues, which came across, they are overpopulation, poverty, rapid urbanization, terrorism, climate change, corruption, and illiteracy. Now, these are the issues, which are in front of us. And like any discipline of knowledge, our discipline, engineering also, it is needed that we resolve the issues faced by humanity. And these are the challenges. And as a civil engineer or as an engineer in general, we need to see that we give our bit, give our contribution in order to resolve this issue. And for this, yes, we do need an integrated approach. We can never solve this kind of issues and in small silos. Now, these are the two statements of Gandhiji. He talks about the cause of the problems, the issues which we narrated at the World Economic Forum. Gandhi, he said that yes, what are the causes? The causes are this. The only cause is that Earth has enough resources to meet people's need, but will never have enough to satisfy people's greed. Our Vasundhara, our beautiful Earth, has sufficient resources for everyone. Now, this is the cause of the problem. Now, Gandhiji does not stop by just inform you that this is a problem and this is the cause of the problem. He also says how do we approach in solving this problem. So he says that be the change you want to see. And today's, this Arise 2021, the first of its kind workshop organized by Gandhi Engineering College, wherein some of the most eminent speakers are going to discuss. Now, all these speakers, the engineers, the veterans of technology, they are going to be the change agent which we are seeking. And collectively, we will be focusing whether the issue is environment or water resources or structural engineering. Ultimately, it boils down to management of these problems. And that's what, is an attempt. That is my understanding. Now, there's another issue, we should look currently, that is our learning disability. We don't see the connections across boundaries in time and space. We always think that issues are not at my end, although the boat is sinking, but I will never see that yes, my boat is sinking. And that connection, I always see myself as disconnected. What is happening in one country or in one region or in one part, I always observe myself as disconnected. But the truth is, yes, we are very much connected, and in today's time, in 21st century, we are rather more connected. And second thing, the full impact of our actions because of delay in the system are not experienced by us. We never get to see, what happens something. The impact of that, will be seen, at a much later date. Now, this is what in this situation we really have to go, and seemingly two disconnected things do have connections, if we logically look into it. And this book on Freakonomics, it's considered as a marvel book, like it talks about issues, which are really hidden side of everything. It really, like connects two seemingly disconnected things. So this is my strong recommendation, like for a student of engineering, for researchers to look, into this and approach solving your research problems based on this. Now, this is what our engineering student does, like in most of our colleges. Nahi nahi rakshati dunkan karte, like, I mean, that's exactly, like what we do. And we marvel, like the scholars at the end of it, like, whether has he really learned engineering or not. It is something, like we do not even have a mechanism at times to examine, to evaluate our learning techniques, our teaching techniques. It is really beyond our scope. There are experiments, there are very successful experiments, like in many institutions, like in our nation. But, like in general, our engineers, like we produce, like some of the largest numbers, of engineers. But truly, like, are they engineers? Like we really have to question it. And there are engineers, who learn by themselves, like Ekalavya, and they put in, their best, and they have, taken responsibility on their own shoulders to change the world. But that's what, like is a scenario. And scenario we really have to see. And the situation, the current corona pandemic, it has changed, like how people are educated, how engineers are being trained, like everything, like is totally changed. And like this new solutions for engineering education, it has definitely brought a lot of innovations. And those innovations we have yet to experience, because although, like it's 1.5 year old now, but still, like lot is needed to be done. And yes, like even, like today, there is a big challenge, with regard to digital division. And in this, like there is no parity, there is inequality, there is a gap. And in this gap, like we have to find a solution. And, like a digital approach is something, like going to stay. Now, like what's happening, like across the world, like the first, second, third, like in this fourth industrial revolutions, what we need to do now, like in the in this fourth industrial revolutions, like the major challenge, like we face is data challenge. And the problems, we face today, we cannot solve, at the same level of thinking we were when we created them. This is a statement of Einstein. He always said that, yes, like we really need to think differently. And Peter Drucker, one of the topmost management guru, he also says that, what you cannot manage, you cannot manage what you can't measure. Hence, you cannot know whether you are successful unless success is defined in time. So it is very important, the measurement. And today, like a time will come, and like the research which you are carrying out talks about, essentially the measuring, like the Internet of Thing, is widely used now in civil engineering. It does nothing but, like manages. Now, what is happening in 30 seconds, and in 30 seconds, like, see, this is what, like happens. Like there are close to about 165,000 tweets are sent, like 50 to 100, like searches are made on LinkedIn, like Google, like 133,000 searches are made. Now, like we are in absolutely very fast world. So what we really need, like a different approach. Now, like this is a professor at Stanford, James Plummer, like a great engineer by himself. And what he says? He says, I tell my student, it doesn't matter, like what we teach you. because it will be obsolete by the time you graduate. So go out and have a lot of good time, you know. And what he says that now, you know, like is a scenario is a just in time knowledge requirement. And there were times, you know, like for us, you know, like as an engineer, one skill was sufficient for us to live the entire life. Just 25 years ago, you know, like you graduate, you know, like in one, you know, like a very narrow field of engineering, and that's it. But now, you know, like we really need to see that we continue, you know, like having multiple skills starting from day one to day end. And you know, like this is a time where a lot of innovations are waiting, you know, like in energy, in medicine, transportation, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And this is a time, you know, like it's a great time. But you know, like as I said, just like Indian conditions, we have, you know, like it is a worst time in our history because there are many people there with ordinary skills and ordinary education. So this is a scenario wherein, you know, like you know, starting from one to one, from one teacher, one student, we went from one teacher teaching many. But now, you know, like is a time where many teachers can teach many students. So you know, like there is a shift, you know, like and in this environment, what are we looking for? You know, like we are preparing for jobs, you know, like our engineers, our students. What are we doing in our engineering schools? We are preparing, you know, like them for the jobs which do not yet exist, the technologies that have not been invented. And in this scenario, in order to solve problems, we do not even know how the problems are going to be. Now, this is a scenario. And in this scenario, we are training our engineers. We are encouraging them to carry out innovation. We are encouraging them to carry out their researches. Now, you know, like in this scenario, what kind of skills, you know, our engineers are required? Be it, you know, like a civil engineering or a mechanical or electrical. What is important, you know, like, and as a teacher, you know, this is going to be, you know, our responsibility. It is our responsibility, and we have to shoulder it, the skills, you know, like of the future which we provide. Because now, you know, like learning, they can definitely do it by a different mechanism. But yes, you know, like we really have to see that, you know, like they remain curious, they remain compassionate, they do, you know, like think different, the gray matter, you know, like the brain, you know, which they use mainly for critical thinking. And unless they collaborate, you know, the siloed approach, you know, like will not work. They cannot, you know, bind themselves into one small region. And yes, first and foremost is a creativity. Now, you know, like this is a kind of skill our engineers, you know, we really want. And yes, you know, like engineering is the future. And ultimately, you know, like the ideal engineer, he is not a scientist, he's not a mathematician, he's not a sociologist or a writer. But yes, you know, like he will have to use knowledge and understanding of these disciplines in solving many engineering problems. Now, see, this is a scenario, and I hope, and I'm sure, you know, like the era is 2021, which is going to lead us. It will show us a path, and I strongly believe, you know, like that this will be a path-breaking event, and it's going to be event, you know, like which will change course of action for many. And with this, you know, like I end, and you know, like I wish this event a great success, and I'm very thankful that I was invited in this meeting. And yes, you know, like it is great to be among engineers. It is great to be, you know, like talking to students, and that's it, you know, like. So with this end, thank you very much, everyone, for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. for giving us the presentation, which is having some eye-opening facts. And seriously, we need to think in this direction also. And we are very thankful again for giving some of the statistics that we are not probably knowing. Okay, so moving further, today Dr. Vikas Singh is being with us. He is a vice chancellor. Wait a moment. Doctor, sorry for the inconvenience. Dr. Vikas Singh is available with us as a guest of honor. Dr. Vikas Singh, sir, is the Vice Chancellor at ITM University, Raipur. He is an accomplished higher education leader with experience in establishment and growth of multidisciplinary universities. He lays strong emphasis on outcome-based education, effective students' learning outcome, academic excellence, strategic academic planning. Dr. Singh is an authority on new national education policy and has authored the book Paper to Screen: The Future of Education. This book has featured in Amazon best-selling education book list. He is recognized as the India top 50 higher education expert and has a deep understanding of current issues and future direction for higher education. He is invited as a speaker at more than 100 higher education programs. Dr. Singh has received Lifetime Achievement Award for Education Excellence. Dr. Singh is an entrepreneurship uh, evangelist and is the president of institution institutions innovation council, which is supported by MHRD Innovation Cell. Dr. Singh has the distinction of being the only Asian man in the global leadership coaching group of Business Global Business Education Network UK. Dr. Singh is a former chairman of ISTD chapter and executive council member of Management Association. He has over a 27 years of experience, applied for 2 patents, published 3 books, 2 management cases, uh, 30 research papers, and guided several doctoral research works. Dr. Singh is a member of Academic Council of several universities. Dr. Singh has conducted series of MDPs and FDPs. He has undertaken consultancy projects for the various organizations in the area of project management and strategic planning. So I can say this is a huge biodata, and we are very fortunate that he has spared the time and he is being with us. So without getting delayed, I am inviting him to address the audience and grace the event.
Thank you so much, Parth, for such elaborate introduction. And it's a really a big pleasure for me, privilege for me to be addressing this gathering on the occasion of first international conference by the Civil Engineering Department, virtual international conference by Civil Engineering Department, which is on emerging research and innovations in civil engineering. Thanks to Darshan for inviting me for this program, and it's a really a matter of honor for me to be here. And I thank Dr. Sahita, the head of the department, and also I thank Dr. Vijay Dhimanji, the principal of the college and patron of this conference. The Honorable Chief Guest Kamlesh Yagnik ji has touched upon some very important points during his inaugural address, I must say. He has discussed the present situation, and he has also thrown some major light on the way ahead, taking some very concrete references and indicating the future direction of Industry 4.0 and how engineering colleges, can contribute in that direction. So I was really impressed by uh, the way he handled the topic, Kamlesh Yagnik sir. And in fact, I would start by saying that Indian higher education system has shown the world that we are so robust, we are so strong, and his Kamlesh Yagnik ji's alma mater, the college IIT Mumbai, is now in news for last 2-3 days because one of the alumni of IIT Mumbai, Raghu Ram, has become the CEO of another multinational company, which is VMware. And at present, out of Fortune 500 companies, around 58-60 companies are headed by people of Indian origin, who has been product of Indian higher education system. And Indian higher education system has also shown the world, that not only how to produce, good stalwarts, good innovators, it has also shown that how to switch from a physical classroom to a online virtual system. This conference is one proof. But otherwise, from 3% in India, only 3% of education, higher education, was online before the pandemic occurred last year in March. And from 3%, immediately, I would say, immediately, because within 2-3 weeks time, all higher education colleges across the country, they have shifted towards virtual platforms. And today 100% of Indian higher education system is online. Every teacher, there are 25 lakh teachers in Indian higher education system. Each of them has learned in less than 1 year how to take online virtual classes, each one of them. There are 35 lakh students, 3.5 crore students rather, those who are enrolled in higher education system. Each one of them, Dr. Kamlesh was mentioning, Kamlesh was mentioning about digital divide. There is digital divide, no doubt about it. But I want to assure him that in Indian higher education system, that digital divide has been addressed. And why I'm saying this? Because all the higher education students, there has been some issues regarding speed of internet speed in some parts of the country. But otherwise, each one of them is now using a mobile phone, a tab, and attending those online lectures. So Indian higher education system has shown its resilience, in these difficult times. As in the beginning, the prayer, I was listening to the prayer. There was a very important line in the prayer. The prayer said, "Arogyam Dhan Sampada." So Arogyam is, of course, now the first thing, to be healthy, to be happy, is one, I would say, major thing right now, because of this pandemic. But I am so happy that Indian higher education system, because of all the teachers like all of you, those who are participating in this conference, because of higher education leaders like Dr. Dhiman, because of higher education leaders like Dr. Sahita, the Indian higher education system has shown its resilience and faced the difficult situation. Kamlesh sir was mentioning about being innovation. Engineering is basically is a word which is based on ingenium, and ingenium means using innovative ways to find out solutions, to ways to find out solutions to problems. And civil engineering, you all must be aware, civil engineering is the first mother branch of engineering. Before this industrial revolution, there was only cottage industry, and engineering was only used for military purposes, military engineering. The first branch of engineering which came into existence as far as engineering teaching is concerned was civil engineering, because majorly for agriculture there was a need to have irrigation, there was need to have water storage, and civil engineering was the first branch which came into existence. So it has shown us the way. Engineering education is because of I would say civil engineering education. And the first college, my father is a student of that college, which came up in 1840, which was Thompson Engineering College. This Thompson Engineering College, which is today IIT Roorkee, my father, is a student of this engineering college. He passed in 1962 from this college. This college came into existence in 1840, and this was basically when the Thompson River, or what we call Upper Ganga Canal, it was made in 1820, and this was basically a site office of that Upper Ganga Canal. So engineers were storing their goods there, equipment there, tools there to make that Upper Ganga Canal. And when the Upper Ganga Canal was constructed down, from Roorkee, that area, so that entire building was converted into the first civil engineering college, Thompson Engineering College, in 1840, which was the first engineering college in India. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this from those days, civil engineering has shown us the way, and today I'm so happy that Gandhi Government Engineering College is conducting the virtual, international conference on research and innovations. So, this shows that our engineering colleges, Kamlesh sir, our engineers are all geared up to face, Industry 4.0. And I assure you, being from the higher education sector, I assure you that, the teachers, the higher education teachers, the higher education students, we all are geared up to take all the challenges, to take all the opportunities that you have mentioned in your inaugural address, sir. Still, I would like to raise a few points if I have 5 minutes, Darshan. If you allow me, Indian higher education system is third largest higher education system in the world. After US and China, we are third largest. We have 1,000+ universities. We have 50,000+ colleges. But still, there is huge scope. Why I'm saying huge scope? Last year, as far as research and innovation is concerned, we were third largest in publication of articles. Around 2.75 lakh articles were published by Indian higher education teachers. But out of these 2.75 lakh articles, around 50,000 were in Scopus or Web of Science, journals. So there is a scope for, improvement as far as our research writing is concerned. And I'm very happy that this conference is having a book which is published having ISBN, and Scopus, indexed journal is also, published after this conference, which is a big platform opportunity for all the persons who are contributing their research papers to this conference. Another interesting point which I would like to share is that last year in India, only 56,000 patents were applied. Engineering faculty members are still more interested in writing research. They are not still working in the direction of getting their research work patented. Only 55,000 patents were, last year applied in India. And out of those 55,000 patents, interestingly, 70% patents were applied by industry. So industry, those who are designing new products, those who are designing new solutions, they were patenting their designs because of course, business competition, because of keeping their, financial interests in place. They were patenting their innovative work. But engineering colleges or higher education per se in entire India, only about 16,000 patents were applied in entire 1 year. The number is very small. Why I'm saying, if we have 25 lakh teachers, then 15,000 patents. If we have 25 lakh teachers, then 20,000 Scopus papers, or 50,000 Scopus and Web of Science papers, shows that there is a long way to go. And I think now, because of this pandemic, for last 1 year, all the faculty members have quickly learned to use the international platforms. And there is also, thanks to the IT software, IT hardware, colleges, they were only using the IT infrastructure. And why I'm saying IT infrastructure? Because Zoom was available, this Teams was available, Google Meets was available. So we used those platforms quickly, learned how to use those platforms, and then we quickly delivered. We ensured that the delivery continues using these platforms. There was tremendous, steps by Coursera, tremendous step by EDX. They offered their programs free of cost to teachers, free of cost to students. And in 1 year, Coursera has shown enrollments increase not by 20%, 50%, 100%. Coursera has shown increase in their business in India by 600%. 6 times more enrollments in Coursera, courses.
Oh.
10 times more. EDX has shown 1000% increment in the enrollment of EDX courses, which shows that Indian higher education teachers, Indian higher education students are looking for learning opportunities. And as Kamlesh sir mentioned, in the last slide, now we are actually looking at many to many teaching. And why I'm saying many to many teaching, this new education policy, this new national education policy is talking about multidisciplinary, it's talking about interdisciplinary. So many teachers representing many different areas, many different disciplines, understanding their strengths and weaknesses, and then creating a collaborative solution to problems. So I believe such conferences and such international conference, which is there, first by the Gandhi Government Engineering College, this is the way on which Indian higher education system has to move. I won't take much time, and I wish all the very best success to this conference, and I'm very sure that it will be full of learning to all the participants in this conference. They would get an opportunity to showcase their research work, to showcase their strength to their peer group. Use this opportunity in the best possible way. Show your hard work and learn from the hard work of others. It's a big opportunity for all of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dhiman. Thank you so much, Darshan, for inviting me to be addressing all of you as guest of honor in this international conference, ARIES 2021. My all the very best wishes to this conference. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your wonderful speech, sir. You have thrown a light about the history and the current scenario, and also motivated the new generation. So, thank you once again for being with us and sharing your views. Now, moving further, I would like to request our organizing secretary, Dr. H.D. Golakia, to give vote of thanks on this event.
Well, Parth,
Yes, sir, you are audible.
thank you, Parth.
Sir, your video is off, I think.
It is on, but in laptop. My voice is coming from mobile.
Okay, now, sir, it is on, I think.
Yes.
Yes, sir, now you can continue.
Today's chief guest, Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik sir, guest of honor, Dr. Vikas Singh sir, honorable principal sir, respected HODs of all departments, staff members, participants, and dear students. Good morning, all. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special day. This is the proudest day in the history of our institute. Today we are hosting the first international conference. On behalf of organizing committee, I convey my thanks to Director of Technical Education for always providing the green signal to us for organizing such events. I like to express our sincere thanks to our principal sir, Dr. V.D. Dhiman, for motivating and providing support for organizing the conference. I would like to convey our sincere thanks to chief guest, Mr. Kamlesh Yagnik sir, and guest of honor, Dr. Vikas Singh sir, to accept our invitation and sparing his valuable time from their busy schedule to grace this program. I also express my gratitude to the Head of Department of Civil Engineering, Dr. Sangeeta Vaikom Madam, for her readiness to guide us and providing constant support and motivation for organizing various events. I am also thankful to Head of Applied Mechanics Department, Professor B.J. Panchal sir, for his valuable suggestion for organizing this event. I am thankful to sponsor of this conference, Gujarat Council of Science and Technology, DST. Without their generous financial support, it would not have been possible to organize this conference. I'm sure that we will continue get generous support from GUJCOS in future also. A big thank to all participants who have shown their overwhelming response and their thoughtful contributions. I am thankful to keynote speakers who are going to deliver the knowledge in emerging areas. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to all advisory board members for their support and effort in promoting the conference. I also extend my thanks to all reviewers for sparing their valuable time and timely carrying out the task of critically reviewing each papers. We have been fortunate enough to back by a team of very motivated and dedicated staff of civil engineering and applied mechanics department who have taken the challenge of successfully organizing the virtual conference in pandemic situation. I would like to thank supporting staff of our institute for their positive support and help as and when required. Last but not least, our students volunteers who have worked very hard to make this event successful. Thank you all people, and I would like to thank who have either directly or indirectly helped us in organizing this event. Thank you all.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, Vijay bhai, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Kamlesh sir, and thank you, Dr. Vikas Singh sir, for
Okay,
being with
Singh
us.
Saab, it was nice meeting you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks so much. So Darshanji, can we leave now?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vijay Dhiman sir. Thank you.